morning, actually, should I say good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. That's right, you've got my voice here. My name is Alex Wood. You are thoroughly here for the Hat Trick podcast, which we normally do on a Tuesday, but today is Thursday. We've decided to do an extra special edition. Isn't that right? The gentleman to my left, Mr. Adam Swindles.
Hiya, how are we?
We're alright. So, just to recap, it's just me and you today.
It is, yeah.
Because our normal resident gentleman that's also normally with us, Mr. Tom Rogers, has decided to bail on us. That's the only way that we can describe it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. He's decided to bail on us and be all boring and normal and have a life and do all that lot. So, yeah. Obviously, Tom's not here today, so sadness for all of us. So it's just me and Adam. So instead of being a Hat Trick podcast, we're technically the Brace podcast, aren't we? So yeah, what we're going to do today is, as we promised on Tuesday, we have an extra super special episode this week. It was meant to be all three of us, but other things came up for Thomas, so never mind. And we're going to do the career mode podcast today, where essentially we're going to take three teams and decide how we would run them throughout the summer transfer window. Now, because Tom's not here, we're not going to do Tom's picks and selections don't get counted because no one cares about Derby, no one cares about Forest. No, it wasn't Forest, it was Norwich, wasn't it? Yeah. Derby, Norwich and Manchester United. No one really cares about them. So we're going to do my three picks and we're going to do Adam's three picks. Adam, what are your three picks?
Port Vale, Notts County and Stoke City. And
we're going to do my three picks of Tottenham, Chelsea and Newcastle United, because I'm a Newcastle United and Adam is obviously a Port Vale fan, so we're going to have all of that as well. What we're going to try and do now as well is we're going to, first of all, we're going to go to some news, if that's okay.
From campus, country and beyond.
This is Phantom News.
Yeah, it wasn't meant to say Phantom News, it was meant to say our news, but okay, it's got the news in it, which is great. So Adam, there was some updates after our podcast on Tuesday featuring Port Vale, which are big, and we'll start there.
Huge news, yeah.
So let's start there, because we have a little bit of a Port Vale thing, and me and Tom didn't really know anything about Port Vale at the beginning of the year, or the season.
But now you've got We've
got like a full mini crush on Port Vale because of you, and this is all your fault. So yeah, tell us the really interesting news about Port Vale that you are going to be absolutely excited about.
Thankfully, an offer's been accepted, which is huge, because we've just felt that he wasn't going to accept anything. He just wanted to see the club die. That's the impression we got from it. And now this bid accepted. No news has come out of to how much the bid is.
Yeah.
How much they put forward to buy. But it's just really promising news for us as fans to see someone who wants the club who's put several bids in and now finally accepted.
Brilliant. And that's what you want as a fan, really, isn't it?
Yeah, we want someone who wants the club to do well, instead of how it's been, the past few seasons where money has not been put into the club to do well on the pitch, and we've been suffering for that relegation and then 2 successive relegation battles in League 2.
Absolutely. And then so the other news that we also had on Tuesday before when the pod was there was more tragic news to do with Bolton Wanderers, because we know that we've been following Bolton all season pretty much. The fact that their players have been paid late, their players have been on strike, they're going down, they get relegated, new buyers have been coming in and not going through because their owner's a horrible human being. And then we had news on Tuesday that their ground was deemed unsafe.
Yeah.
By a safety board or something like that. So they wouldn't be able to play their last 2 games, which obviously was
Was it Ipswich and Middlesbrough?
It was Ipswich and Middlesbrough, thank you. The Ipswich and Middlesbrough games. But that's been reversed now. So on the Thursday of today, the 4th of April, that's now been reversed and them games can go ahead, which is good for Bolton, because it means they might be able to pick up 6 points and maybe get out of relegation, although they need a miracle realistically.
Yeah, now today the staff have been paid for March as well.
Brilliant. So all the players are back at training as well.
Okay, so
that's fine. Good news for Bolton fans there. That, and then the winding up order for all of the money and everything has been delayed till May the 10th. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Adjourned.
good news for Bolton Wanderers fans that you have a club till May possibly, which means you'll be able to finish out the season and get relegated and all that lot. Speaking of winding up orders, Oldham Athletic.
Oxford United.
That one, sorry. Oxford United. Oxford United have had a new winding up order as well.
Yeah.
Lay down the situation for us, Adam, because I don't really understand.
A horrible situation for any fan would be their club and stadium to be separate, which is the case here. You never want that to happen. I was worried that might happen at Vale. The Kassams, who own the stadium, are charging rent off Oxford United, and their owner has not paid the bills in recent months, so they're in debt now to the stadium, and because of that there's been a winding up order on the club. So there's no date of when the court case will happen, but it's worrying news for any club for a winding up order.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully for all for the fans there, they're absolutely able to get that there.
Yeah.
And yeah, so yeah, but when we were last here, there were some fixtures and games and everything like that on. So we will just quickly run through them when they happened and make sure that that's all there. So last night we had a couple of Premier League games. On Tuesday we had two, which were the two FA Cup games there. The two FA Cup games. Watford battered Fulham, so Fulham were officially relegated. Goodbye Fulham, they're the second casualty of the Premier League this season, along with Huddersfield. And Wolves beat Man United 2-1, similar to the FA Cup one, but it was a terrible, terrible mistake for the second one for Wolves' goal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Both goals were scrappy.
Yeah, and then obviously Ashley Young got sent off as well, giving Mike Dean his 100th red card. Yes, Mike Dean. In the Championship, Bristol beat Middlesbrough, also probably cementing Tony Pulis going to get the sack at the end of the season. Swansea beat Brentford 3-0. Cambridge United beat Bury 3-0, which is a fabulous result for Cambridge. And Oldham Athletic beat Tranmere 2-0 as well. That's the Tuesday games that were really there. The Wednesday games follow. Chelsea battered Brighton and Hove Albion with Callum Hudson-Odoi being an absolute legend and starting and playing well. We'll move on to Callum Hudson-Odoi when I discuss Chelsea later on. Manchester City retained top of the title as they played their game in hand at Cardiff, who lost 2-0 and most certainly look like they are down, definitely. And Spurs kicked off their new stadium with fireworks and all of that lot, although the game was pretty standard and they won 2-0 with Heung-min Son and Christian Eriksen scoring. Sunderland played one of their games in hand out of their four. They won 3-0. And in Scotland, Rangers won 2-0 and Celtic. Rangers won 3-0 and Celtic won 2-0. Sorry, got them the wrong way round, as that's there at Hearts and St Mirren retrospectively. Also, Real Madrid lost for the first time under big man Zidane. So yeah, that happened there. Pep Guardiola has also said that if they lose another game, then they're going to lose the title. If they drop any points now for the rest of the season, they're losing the title. And they've got big games to play still, Man United and Spurs retrospectively as well. So yeah. Also, England moved up to fourth in the world rankings, which is nice of England, really, isn't it?
I suppose, yeah. It should be higher though.
We should be higher.
Yeah.
Oh god, we had this discussion post pod because I said it doesn't really matter. I don't really rate the world.
I don't think it matters, but it's just I feel people just totally neglect it. I feel like it's good to look at and see what the countries are, but I mean it doesn't really matter. Like anyone can still be anyone.
Okay, that makes sense. Right, so shall we move on to the career mode section? Let's actually do it. Let's do it. Let's get a little bit of cool music up to cement it. No, you don't like that, do you?
No,
not really. Okay, right, we'll fade that down then. Right, so it's our career mode section right here, right now. Get excited. Woo, yeah! Celebrate. Adam, we'll start with you. Go.
Okay, Port Vale.
Yep.
So, we'll go with the idea that the new owners come in and buy the club because it's much easier to do it. Because if there's no club, then I'll be pointless sitting here. So, manager situation. I'd bring John Askey in permanently. Only as he came in, he got the manager's job. He was only given to the end of the season, so I'd give him a 2-year deal. That's my idea.
What was he before? Port Vale manager.
He was sacked by Shrewsbury. Was his last job.
Okay, so
after 17 games of the season.
Yep,
brilliant. So, as I told you yesterday, it's a bit different in League 1 and 2 compared to the Premier League.
Yeah.
You know, you won't really sign players on, you know, for fees. It's normally free transfers, see who's out of contract. So, looking at ourselves, seeing who's out of contract, there's a whole list of players here. I'll just run through them really quickly.
Yeah, go.
You know, Anthony Kay, out. Michael Tong, out. David Rowell, keep. Danny Pugh, out.
Danny Pugh!
Although Michael Tong and Danny Pugh are going to have coaching roles anyway. So
right,
it's just don't give him another playing contract. Leon Legg, keep. Nathan Smith, keep. Emmanuel Olecki, keep. Tom Conlon, keep. Dan Turner, out. Connor Rawlinson, out. Theo Vassell, out. Sam Hornby, keep. James Gibbons, keep. Luke Cannon, keep. And Danny Elliott, out.
Ooh.
So it's about half and half, I'd say.
Yeah.
Although a lot of those are regular first team players.
So they're more squad players and depth and stuff, yeah?
So
what about ins then?
Ins. So I'm just going to list our key areas because that's what we need to really focus on before we go signing loads of players like we have done.
Yep.
Like 12 players last season. So fullbacks are our key area. We've probably got one decent fullback who is our own player.
Yeah.
So
have you got loads of loan deals then?
Like in the fullback area, yeah, we have. Both of our starting fullbacks at the minute are both on loan. One from Nottingham Forest, one from Aston Villa.
Wow.
So James Gibbons, who's out of contract, but he'll sign a contract, no doubt he'll sign.
Okay.
Because he's youth system, so he'll definitely sign. So Mitchell Clark and Adam Crooks, I'd like to keep them both.
Yeah.
If we could, either extend the loan for another season or sign them permanently.
Well, would Villa and Forest just let them go like that?
So Villa probably not, because they're weak at the fullback area.
Okay.
Although he's not up to, I wouldn't say his Championship standard. I wouldn't say his League 1 standard. I'd say League 2's probably his.
Right. Okay.
His area. Crooks, he's probably more likely to sign permanently.
Right.
Because that's Forest. I think they're fine. Having a look at their, the fullback players there should be fine. So I'd like that to happen, and then, if not, you can probably find either other loan. It'll probably end up being loan players. That's not what normally happens, because fullbacks are really hard to buy in our league.
Yeah. They cost money.
And and the fullback position is it's evolved now, hasn't it? So there's a lot. I think there's a lot less few of out and out fullbacks. Mm-hmm. So we move on to wingers now, higher up the field. We need both left and right-sided midfielders. So I've had a look who's, out of contract in Leagues 1 and 2. This is more being optimistically realistic.
Okay.
So I'm only looking at League 1 and 2, but it might be a bit of a push if you can get these players or not.
Okay.
So we'll go for a first, a left winger who I want, be Danny Mayer, if we could, who got 21 combined goals and assists altogether, but looks like they're going to go up. It's just if he can do the same in League 1, that's his only option. I think they've got better players at the wingers. Bury. It's just, would they be willing to? Well, would they want to keep him on? That's the only thing I can think of.
How old is he?
He's 20s. So it's not a situation of age. It's just a situation of if they can feel he can do it at a higher level.
Yeah.
And if not, then I'd look into Sam Vale. Especially if we've got new funds now, we can spend more money on players as wages. So on the right, I'm having this discussion with you before. He's at the top of my list. He's most likely going to keep playing at Doncaster because he's been there for over 14 years now. He's been there, so it makes sense for him to stay there for his career. But I had to put him on the list because it's mental. 19 combined goals and assists this season.
Yep. So far,
yeah. At 38 years of age. This is mental.
That's quality.
Even goalkeepers don't last that long.
No, they don't.
And for him to be going it, it's not like non-league. This is professional footballers.
Yep.
It's mental. So I put him on the list. I mean, he probably won't do. Vale probably thinking.
Tell us who he is.
He's James Coppinger.
James Coppinger.
Did I not say his name?
No, he didn't.
No, I didn't.
Not the entire time. Like, I'm just sat here like, yeah, you probably said him earlier, but I've forgotten his name already.
Yeah, James Coppinger. Yeah,
James Coppinger. James, if you're listening, you are a legend, and Adam highly respects your game.
I do. And if we could sign him, that'd be brilliant.
Yep.
I'm not too fussed on pace. Obviously, he's 38, so he's not going to be the quickest guy.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Because we've got the fullbacks who are young and going to go that wing.
Absolutely,
we just want decent service into the box is what we want with Tom Pope at the end of him.
Yeah, so that he can get 101 goals.
101 goals.
Yep.
If he doesn't score against Crewe in the derby this week. Well,
hopefully he does.
Yeah, hopefully. And then moving up, I feel just one striker we need. We've got Tom Pope there, who's almost at double figures, 1 goal. He's at 9 goals this season, one more goal. But I feel we need that striker who could possibly get us 20 goals a season.
Okay.
So
that's going to be expensive.
Expensive, yeah. This is another guy who's out of contract, but it's another optimistically realistic one. Is it Gillingham?
Oh.
Who were around the bottom, aren't they? They're in that huge relegation battle in League One, which is interesting.
They haven't done as well as they were predicted to do this season.
No,
they were predicted to push for playoffs this season with Gillingham.
Yeah, they've been around the bottom quite a lot. Obviously, they pushed us down to relegation when we went down 2 seasons ago. So this plays Tom Eaves, who plays for Gillingham.
Yeah, obviously.
20 goals this season so far. He's a big lad. I've seen him.
I mean, look at here. Imagine if he didn't play for Gillingham, they would be bottom of League One.
Yeah, they've kept him. He's kept the team up single-handedly.
So then he's going to have a price tag on him, surely.
Sure. Well, no one will be paying, a fee for him. Wages, yeah, but he's out of contract, so no. If he wants to leave the club, then obviously no team's got to put in a transfer fee for him.
Yeah.
He'll just go on a free.
Yeah, they've just got to inquire about it and do that. How old is he? Was he 25, 26?
Yeah, he's mid-20s. So
he's in his prime then, realistically.
Yeah.
So
this is the thing. Yeah, as I said, if they do go down Gillingham, then it's teams see, well, we can clearly do it in League One.
Yeah.
So they might sign him. It's just a case of,
if he can do that in League One, what is he going to be able to do in League Two? It's going to be really, really good.
It'll be good.
If you get somebody like that, which, as you say, isn't just optimistic, it's a little bit dreamlandish. It's a little bit dreamlandish, I'll give you it. But if you are able to secure a player like that, then
because
the odds are astronomical.
I was trying to look at players who were in League Two who were around the 20 goal mark.
Yeah.
But they're all like obviously they're top of the league.
Yeah.
So they're going to be going into League One. So I was trying to look for players who were around the relegation who were going to come down into League Two. There was another one, Simon Cox, who plays for Southend. He's scored 15 goals so far this season.
He's very good. I really like Simon Cox, I've heard of him. That's how you know how good he is. I've heard of him. I'm a Premier League fan who has heard of Simon Cox.
So obviously Southend, again, they're another team down there in the huge relegation fight. So I'm trying to think, would a League One team go in for him 15 goals? Possibly, yeah. Yeah, it's just, that's
the possibility. Like a team like Wimbledon, who are trying to rebuild their team because their star striker's old. A team like Wickham, who are trying to rebuild their team because Akinfenwa's not getting any younger.
No,
like they could be.
He's not got the greatest goal tally either.
No, he's just
Wickham haven't won in 7, I don't think, so they're struggling there. Yeah. And I was looking at, I told you just earlier, I was looking at League Two players, but MK Dons, they've got 2, big, good strikers who are on double figures, but they're probably going to go up. Lincoln, they're probably going to go up. Bury, they're probably going to go up. Tranmere looks like they're the form team in the playoffs. They're going to go up. So it's a real struggle to find 20. If every team has a 20 goal a season striker, like we had. I think Tom Pope got 19 goals last season, which kept us up single-handedly.
There you go.
He's not got to that same stage this season, but he's definitely going to keep us up even with 9 goals. So
100%.
League 1 and 2 is kind of a mix. It's, you can't really call where players are going to go. But also he plays for Gillingham, Tom Eaves, so he's probably going to look down south if he wants to go to a team. So that is my Port Vale. That's what I do this season anyway.
Look for optimistic transfers from above leagues.
Yeah.
Right, we'll move on. Let's go Spurs, and let's discuss Spurs. Spurs is a little bit of an interesting one, I think.
Okay.
And this is why I've decided to do it, because it's a club that's at a high level, and their kind of policy at the moment is buy young, train them good, and then sell them off. That's their policy.
Yeah.
And I think they need to change and shift that if they're ever going to push up, because they're probably going to finish third this season in the Premier League. Third or fourth this season in the Premier League. They'll probably get top 4. They might drop out. And if they do,
I think I predicted Tuesday they're going to drop out.
Yeah, you did. And if they do drop out, it will be because they don't have a giant squad. They haven't spent any money. They didn't spend any money in the summer transfer or in January. This is going to change. Okay, so for players leaving this summer, for me, there are 3, 4, 5 big players that are going to leave. They're all first team players or secondary team players. Toby Alderweireld, with him signing a contract extension this season, there is an activation clause in his contract that is allowing him to leave for £26 million, which would be a really good signing for someone. Juventus and Manchester United have been sniffing around this, so I think that one of them will probably plug a bid on, because Juve, Bonucci, Chiellini, all of them, they're not getting any younger.
No.
They really aren't. They're getting older, so they need someone that's going to be there for the next couple of years. And Man United centre-back are a mess anyway. We know that. So, yeah, let's get that one on and going. For me, Daniel Levy slapped a £120 million price tag on this player. Real Madrid have been sniffing around him for years. There were other teams that are coming in for him now, like Barcelona and others. And his name's Christian Eriksen. PSG are also in there as well, but it's PSG. They'll try and sign anyone. And if anyone comes in for around about £100 million offer for him, go. Just get rid of him.
It's money that you can use.
Yeah, it's money that you need, really. Just go, get rid of him. And yeah, it would be sad because they'll be letting go a world class player, but yeah, sod it, get rid of him. Michel Vorm, he could leave on a free transfer this season because his contract is up. There are a lot of teams in France that have been looking at him. He's Dutch. Maybe he might go back to Holland with like AZ Alkmaar or something like that. But I could see him going to France. I'd say Victor Wanyama, it's finally time for you to go as well. He's too injured. Bye-bye. Sod off. See you later, sir. Janssen as well, the third choice striker. Get rid of him.
Yeah, he's pointless there.
Schalke have been sniffing around him, as well as Real Betis. Real Betis have been sniffing around him because Iago Aspas keeps getting injured, and he's their talisman and only goal scorer really. But they need another one
because they're close to relegation, and without Aspas they'd be bottom, they'd be dead.
Yeah, they would be dead.
So and that's why they need a new one, because he's not getting any younger.
And they're in relegation because Aspas has been injured since November, and they've not won since January. So that's why they're right down there. So yeah, that just proves the point really that Janssen needs to go. There are clubs that can do him. So in terms of the other side of it, what do Spurs need? Adam, what do Spurs need?
I'd say midfielders. But
they need midfielders. They need midfielders desperately. That's exactly what they need. It's not. It's common sense what they need. They need midfielders. To be honest with you, there are two that I can see that would really, really suit them and would really, really do well for them. One is Yuri Tillemans, currently on loan at Leicester from Monaco. There isn't a buy clause in his contract.
No, so he'd be going back there.
He would be an option. Obviously, if Leicester and Monaco do a deal sideways, then that's there.
Yeah, Monaco might be looking for a clear out as well with how the season's gone.
Absolutely. So there's that. And then Andre Rabiot from PSG has refused to sign any deals at PSG because he wants to leave. I think Spurs would be a perfect place for him. I really do. I think he'd be brilliant at Spurs. With Pochettino and the squad that Spurs have, I think he'd be excellent there. He was going to join Spurs in January for £20 million, but unfortunately his agent, who was his dad, died, so couldn't really do anything. He said he would wait to the summer to decide any of his future. For me, there are two players I'd sign that are attacking midfielders / wingers. Now I know that you're probably going to laugh this one off and be like, no, you never, not a chance. Jack Grealish is one.
No,
not a chance. Not a chance. Didn't think so. Why?
I just don't think he's that level yet. Premier League, but not top 6 team.
I think you're wrong. And the other one that I think Spurs are heavily linked with him, especially now that club's gone down. And you mentioned him before the pod, is Ryan Sessegnon.
I think he's a bit overrated.
You've always thought he's a bit overrated, but I think he's properly rated.
I haven't seen anything. I've watched a few Fulham games. There's nothing stood out to me of he's top 6.
I think he's
class.
properly rated, so I think that and then the other one is Tagliafico from Benfica.
I like that one.
That's a big one. He's also refused to sign any deals because he's only got 12 months left on his contract now. Officially, it's 18 months, but when the transfer comes by on, it'll only be 12 months. He doesn't want a new contract at Benfica, so I think the Tagliafico one's very interesting. But there's other teams that are interested in that, such as Napoli and Arsenal as well. So they've got a bit of contention. But personally, I think Spurs is more attractive than both of them two teams.
Definitely, 100%.
100%. Also, please keep Mauricio Pochettino. Don't let Pochettino go. Really, don't let Pochettino go, because I think that would be a tragedy. That would be a mistake. Right, go on then. Second one for you, Adam, please.
Second one. So I'm going to go with Stoke.
Oh God, yeah. Come on, then. Let's go. And I know a little bit about Stoke.
This isn't just because I'm from Stoke. This is because where they were expected to finish and where they have, where they're likely to finish is miles apart.
They were expected to come straight back up.
Yeah.
And
by far in the bookies, far, because of the team, the players they bought. But what happened was, the players they bought, it was more individuals rather than team players.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
like Benacer, he did really well for Wolves last season, but here he just hasn't gone well at all.
No.
So the manager, he's really
Graham Potter.
No, that's Swansea manager.
That's the Swansea manager. Sorry, is it the Luton manager?
Luton manager, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
Nathan Jones.
Nathan Jones. That's it. Thank you.
He's said they're going to have a major clear out of players. The only problem with that is they've only got 4 out of contract players this season. Only 4 in that squad.
Who are the out of contract players?
So, actually 3. Sorry, because Ashley Williams is only there on loan, so he'll be gone.
Yeah.
So it's Darren Fletcher, who's 35 now.
Yeah.
So I can't see him signing another contract.
He's been doing media work as well. So Darren Fletcher,
Charlie Adam.
God, yeah.
They did an interview with him. I think it was Tuesday. I'm going to say Tuesday.
Okay.
Where him and Ryan Shawcross, the club captain, they had an interview looking forward to the summer and saying, what was going to happen. He said he'll love to be part of the plans, but knows there's going to be a major clear out, and I can't see him being offered a contract.
No, I mean,
because it just looks stupid, won't it?
Yeah.
33-year-old Charlie Adams signs a 1-year contract. It's just laughable.
No, yeah, it's laughable.
And then a reserve keeper, Jacob Haugaard, who has been awful.
Yeah.
Awful. He's not a championship. He's not even Football League. Honestly, he's that poor.
Really?
Yeah, he's not even Football League. He's awful. So he'll be gone. He has got another option, a 1-year option on his contract though. So
1-year extension option. Yeah,
so he might use that.
Okay.
So this is the tough thing. They want to clear out, but they haven't got the players to just go. So that means they're gonna have to sell players.
Okay. Yeah. Go.
So it's a tough one, because you look at the players they've got, and then you think who can they buy? So Benacer hasn't really done it, but would you expect them to keep him though?
Yes.
Because
they spent a lot of money on him.
Yeah, they spent so much money on him. So you've got to expect him to stay. Another player who I do like though is the guy they got from the guy they got from Nigeria, who played at the World Cup. I can't think of his name. Hang on. Etebo.
Sorry, yeah.
You got him. He didn't have a great World Cup, but I've really liked what he'd been doing.
Yep.
So there's another one. Ryan Shawcross is a strange one, because he's the club captain, but I don't like him. I think he's poor. So
he's the club captain. He'll stay.
He's the club captain. He's got to stay. A possible out who they won't want to go, but they're going to have to look to replace him, is Jack Butland. Jack Butland, it's been highly reported that he's going to. He's been poor this season, but it's been highly reported that he's going to go.
Yeah, but where?
Someone in the Premier League.
Who needs a keeper in the Premier League at the moment? No one. No one needs a keeper in the Premier League.
What?
The Premier League is good for keepers at the moment. Maybe Bournemouth, if they decide to get rid of Arboric. Actually, no, sorry. Palace. No, because Gaeta's there. So, no, they're fine with keepers.
Who's Norwich keeper? Do you know?
Tim Krul.
That's he's been hardly reported, but it's a good point. He needs a goalkeeper in the Premier League.
No one needs goalkeeper in the Premier League.
So we'll see.
The Premier League is good for...
Because Leeds got the player from Madrid.
And then they're probably going to keep the Chelsea player Blackman.
Yeah, but even their reserve keeper who's on the bench for Leeds, he's still, pretty good from what I've seen of him. So
absolutely. So the teams that are going up in the league, who's West Brom's keeper?
He's on loan from someone. He's on loan. They haven't got a keeper, so he's on loan.
So that might be the only one if they go up.
If they go up,
right. Aston Villa, they've got their keeper sorted. He's good. He's a very good keeper. Derby, they've got their keeper sorted. They wouldn't want Jack Butland either because he's Stoke. Bristol City, their keeper sorted as well because they've done very well this season. They're one of the best defensive teams in the league.
So it's a really tough one for me. There
isn't anybody there. Middlesbrough is the only other one that I can think of. Like they'll want to improve their keeper, but maybe not. Forest, maybe not. I don't know. I can't see him moving from another Championship team. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. So I think he'll stay. I disagree with that one. Sorry.
So other players, Mam Diouf, who's been there for a while.
Yeah.
He's played in every single position. So
then we went to go see.
Derby Stoke game. He came on.
He played left back.
No. He came on. He was shoved up front. But he did nothing. That's probably why he thought he was left back.
Right, okay, sorry.
It's alright, but they just shoved him on front on his own. He had no service at all. How they drew that game.
Mental.
So another one, Sadio Berahino, he's probably going to...
I thought he'd retired, but yeah, Sadio Berahino needs to go.
Because of what the incident that happened. I think it was drink driving
he's had more drink driving charges than this season than he has goals in 2018.
They can probably get away with just sacking him, to be fair.
They're trying to.
That's the thing, with all these players, it's just if someone wants them. So someone needs to want Mam Diouf. Someone needs to want, let's say, a James McLean.
James McLean could get some offers,
because he hasn't done it at Stoke. He's still 29.
I think James McLean could get some offers. Do you know who I could see buying James McLean? Like that? Burnley.
Yeah.
Easily.
I could see.
Easily. Burnley would be that club. If Burnley bought James McLean for $5 million, I wouldn't shake my head at it.
Yeah, he probably went to Stoke. I'm guessing he got more money at Stoke than he would at Burnley.
But
But now it's like I want to play Premier League football because I expected to get up with Stoke.
Yeah.
And it's that happens.
So I want to play regular first team football.
So I'll be looking to go somewhere else.
Maybe Joe Allen as well. Would Joe Allen leave? Do you think? Is he good enough to leave?
When he was at Liverpool, I think he was class, but now
he's a bit poor, isn't he?
Yeah, and he hasn't had a standout season really.
No.
So
you'd expect him to be like a world beater.
Yeah, I'd expect him to stay.
Bojan maybe.
People have started getting on his back now, even though
he stayed.
And people loved him. People annoyed he wasn't starting, and now people got on his back because he's had a few chances. He hasn't
put them away. Confidence issue, isn't it?
But in the Championship, you need goals. I'm going to pinch one of yours that you said before the pod.
Okay.
Scott Hogan, I think would be a decent fit for Stoke.
Okay. He probably would, yeah. He would be. He definitely would be.
Yeah, if he doesn't get offered a Premier League club, which we'll move on to later.
Spoiler alert. Yeah. Scott Hogan would be a good signing for them. It'd be a very, very good signing for them. He'd be goals, he'd be assists.
He's Champions quality. He could definitely do a job in the Premier League, I feel. So for them, class.
Do you know who also wouldn't be a bad signing for them? And I put it to you as well. Junior Hoylett.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be a bad signing for them,
because someone in the position, Tom Ince, hasn't done well this season.
No, he hasn't, and they spent a lot of money on him as well.
The amount of money they spent on this team, and it just hasn't performed at all. They have got Sam Vokes, who's out injured at the minute, who they got from Burnley in a swap deal with Peter Crouch.
Yeah.
So
I think they came off better on that deal, to be honest.
Yeah, although he missed the penalty on his debut.
Did he actually?
Yeah. I think there's some stat of Stoke. Out of the last 12 penalties, they've only scored 4 of them.
That's crazy.
I think it's something like that.
That's crazy. Who's taking their penalties?
So I remember Sadio Berahino scored a brace. They were 3-0 down to I'm gonna say Notts Forest.
Okay, go with that.
I think it was.
Yeah,
They were
we'll go with that.
They were 3-0 down.
Yeah.
Berahino scored 2.
Yeah.
And then the last minute they got a penalty to equalise. Berahino stepped up to score the hat trick. He hit the bar. So
Oh, Sadio.
I know it wasn't Blackburn Rovers. It was against. Sorry, it was Blackburn Rovers they played.
Sadio.
So
Maybe he'll go to a different club and try and force a move again.
I can't see anyone wanting Sadio
No,
Berahino.
I don't want Sadio.
So anyway,
I think he'll get sacked.
So anyway, that's what I'd do. I was contemplating Nathan Jones maybe possibly going because they've only won once in 11 games.
You see, it wouldn't surprise me again, but
Stoke. The
they
thing
need
was
to.
before Mark Hughes left, Stoke didn't regularly sack managers because they weren't one of those teams. But now they've kind of had to because Mark Hughes would have sent them down.
Yep.
Then as when Paul Lambert came in, they only won 2 games.
Yep.
So he had to kind of go. Gary Rowett.
It's Gary Rowett, isn't it?
Gary Rowett, and if they were nowhere near where they expected to be, the amount of money they spent. So
I think
it was justified to sack him.
Yeah.
So that's 3 gone in less than
less
than a season.
Yeah, in a year.
So
it's mad.
I can't see them sacking Nathan Jones. So anyway, that's what I'd do.
Yeah.
With Stoke.
100%. I agree with most of them, as I've said there. Stoke are not anywhere where they are. Gary Rowett's definitely been found out as a fraudster for that. Another man that is in should I stay or should I go mode is Maurizio Sarri for Chelsea, and that's who we will move on to now, going there. With this and Chelsea, I've put in the fact that they have a transfer embargo because it looks like they will do this summer because they have appealed it and done this, that and the other, and it doesn't look like it's going to go through.
No,
so at the moment I've got the fact that they have a transfer embargo in there.
Yeah, we'll roll that.
Which sounds super scary, but I quite like it. So the transfer embargo, for people that do not know, means that they cannot sign any players. They're not allowed to loan players. They're not allowed to buy players. They are only allowed to sign free agents. So this is my point. And for one of the people, they are allowed to sign him because he will be a free agent. Okay.
Yeah.
So the list of outs are going to be quite large and laughable. Okay. So just bear with me. There are quite a lot of them. I'd get rid of Blackman. Give him to Leeds.
Yeah.
Leeds need a keeper, especially for the Premier League. Gary Cahill.
Yeah.
Emerson.
Yeah.
He played last night and didn't play very well. I thought he was poor. Pedro, Danny Drinkwater, Kurt Zuma, who's on loan to Everton. Let Everton have him permanently. Bakayoko, who's on loan to AC Milan. Let him have him permanently. Omreo, Thomas Callas, who's on loan to Bristol City. Let him have him permanently. Hector, who's in Germany. Piazon, who's also at Bristol City. Let him have him permanently. And Kane, who is somebody weird. And also, the last one is Tomori, who's on loan at Derby. And Tom expressed his personal love and admiration for Tomori. So we'll let Derby keep them. The others that are not out on loan and stuff like that I would say keep, because I personally think they are good players that will be usable for Chelsea, especially since they can't buy and get thing. The first one is Victor Moses, who's currently on loan at Fenerbahce. Remember, we're getting rid of Maurizio Sarri, so there is no Sarri ball anymore.
Yeah, but he's just not a good enough player for Chelsea.
You don't think he's a good enough player?
No.
Right, okay. The others are quite simple. Mason Mount, keep him.
Yeah.
100%. If you get rid of Danny Drinkwater, you need another English player anyway for your homegrown status and stuff like that. Keep Mason Mount, play him in Europe, do this, that and the other. Because they're going to get 5th. And even if they get 6th, then they'll still qualify for Europe because Manchester City are going to win the FA Cup.
Yeah.
So,
unless they don't.
Man City are going to win the FA Cup. So, yeah. Keep him there, play him in Europe, have him little progress it like Philly Foden is for Man City. Do that lot. I'd keep Tony Abraham as well.
I would.
I'd keep Tammy Abraham. I want them to keep Tammy Abraham because I'm sick of them loaning him. Obviously, they've got Pulisic coming in as well. Obviously, keep Loftus Cheek, keep Kante, keep Jorginho because I'm interested to see how he'd do in a different system other than Sarri's. So I'm interested for that. Obviously, they've still got Higuain, and I would sell Olivier Giroud. For me, I'd sell him. I like him, but I don't think anyone at Chelsea does. Do you know what I mean? I don't think he's not usable at Chelsea anymore, I don't think. So if you're keeping Tammy Abraham, get rid of Olivier Giroud.
Okay.
Because you're only going to use one of them, aren't you? Because Higuain's going to be your starting striker, isn't he?
Yeah.
So you're only going to use one of them. You're not going to have both of them, because one of them will kick up a fuss about not playing. So keep Higuain. And then the person I'd buy on a free transfer is Rabiot.
Yeah.
Because I think if you had Chelsea without Maurizio Sarri versus Spurs, which one would you rather go to? I know for me it'd be Spurs.
Spurs, because Champions League.
Yeah, but I can see him going to Chelsea because of money.
Yeah, he'd definitely get more money at Chelsea.
He would, 100%.
Would you want Champions League though?
I don't know. Well, they might win the Europa League.
You've definitely got a more favourable draw than Arsenal have, haven't they?
So they've got the easier legs of draws. Might have an all English final. That'd be really interesting. A Chelsea Arsenal Champions League final.
Yeah, and
I don't know. Europa League final. Sorry.
No, you did say Europa League.
I did say Europa League. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just saying that as well. You could have an all English Champions League.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? 4 English teams in the finals.
Show their dominance. Yeah,
mate, absolutely brilliant. But yeah, that's the way I'd look at Chelsea. And then next season for their 4-3-3, I would have. I don't like Marcus Alonso anymore. I think
I do.
I don't like
Alonso.
him. So right, okay, fine. For devil's advocate, we'll keep him in the team. For me, I would play Kepa Arrizabalaga. Left back, obviously, we'll keep Alonso then. In the centre, I would have David Luiz and Andres Christensen. Right back, Aspilicueta. Because he's doing bits there. He's doing
captain.
He's a really, really good player. He can play centre back, of course, as well.
Yeah.
It depends if they want to go back to a 3-back. But personally, I'd keep them at a 4. I'll have them playing 4-3-3. Me. Then I'd play Kante in his sitting position.
Yeah.
Jorginho and Loftus-Cheek either side of him, and then obviously Pulisic, Hazard, and Higuain there with Mount on the bench and Abraham on the bench every week, and then if obviously Loftus-Cheek gets injured, stick Mason Mount in there and stuff like that.
Yeah. Do you think Hazard will stay?
With them having a transfer embargo, yes. And with me earlier predicting that Real Madrid are going to get Eriksen instead of Hazard, yes.
Okay.
Because the way that Real Madrid are playing at the moment, they have Vinicius Junior on the left, and he's their new little starlet. So why would you go out and buy Hazard, who's 29, and not going to get you 3 years when you have one of the most promising young players anyone's ever seen? Do you understand what I mean? I
understand what you mean.
I can't physically comprehend that as normal logic. Whereas they don't have youngish in their prime ball-winning, playing midfielder, because Modric is getting on. So's Toni Kroos. So they need someone younger now, and Eriksen's 26. I'd go and get him. 100%. Okay. That's logic for me. But yeah, that's what I would do. Chelsea. I'd let most of their youth players go that are not playing, instead of keep loaning them out, and do that lot and keep the young English talent, because they're proven to do bits whenever they do play. Because Mason Mount, when he played for Derby earlier, was quality. He was absolute quality when he came back for Derby. But that's me. Right, go on.
Okay, so my third and final team that I'm going to do is Notts County.
Yeah, we'll make this quick because we've only got 10 minutes left, guys.
10 minutes, okay, sure. So the situation they're in, not a great one.
No,
so it looks like they're going to be in non-league, which means a huge clear up, because those players who are there, they don't want to play non-league football, do they?
No one wants to play non-league football.
They want to go. No. So this list of all out of contract players, I don't even know how many there are. I can't even count. There's got to be 20 at least.
Jesus.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they all go, because why would you want to sign a contract with a non-league team?
Unless you're Salford United.
Yeah. And they definitely don't have the money, because they're close to administration.
Yep.
So,
are they going to get a new owner, you think?
Are they going to get a new owner? At some point, they've probably.
Yeah.
But at the minute, they're not looking. It's the 10th of April they're obviously Bolton's was changed, but Notts County still hasn't been changed. So they're winding up. Their court case is the 10th of April, so in 6 days' time. So we'll probably learn more.
We'll cover that next week then.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, and then the players, not only are the players there who are out of contracts going to go, there's going to be players who are still under contract that are thinking, right, let's go. Because I'm not sure if they have clauses in the contract saying we can go if we get relegated.
Absolutely.
But the players are like, John Stead is an interesting one because he's he's 35 now, and I can't see a League 2 team wanting him because he's not at the best. He's been out injured.
He might retire.
So he might just retire, or he might stay with Notts.
Okay.
Possibly, because non-league would probably be his level.
Yeah.
There's a few players there. Also that I'd like to sign. So there's I hope I'm saying this right, Boldavine.
Okay.
I think Boldavine.
Stick it with it.
Yeah. 26-year-old. He's definitely not non-league. I'd like to have him at Vale if we could.
Yeah.
I don't think any League One teams are going to go in for Notts County players.
No.
Alessandra, he's out of contract.
Wow, yeah.
So I'd love to have him.
Last season he was very, very good for them. Last season when they were pushing playoffs and nearly got promoted, he was very, very good.
Very good.
Same with Boldavine there when you said that. Them two were really their rocks in midfield, weren't they?
Yeah, great players. So centre backs, Richard Duffy, who we had. He might have been club captain, but we had him for a few years. He was part of the promotion season team.
Yeah.
He's 33 now.
Would you have him back at Vale?
No.
Okay.
I'm just saying. And as this is the sort of player that I picked out, he's going to be he's 33 now, but he'll be 34 in August. So
he's going down. Yeah.
He's probably down. So there's a lot of players here who are old, and there's basically, if you look at 31 and under, they'll probably move on.
Yeah.
Above that, they'll probably stay.
Yeah.
Manager, they've got to change the manager. Definitely they go down with Neil Audley. And, I'm going to give you as much time as you want for Newcastle United. So basically, as I say, clean with Notts County, in summary, a load of players going to be going because it's non-league, new manager, and a new owner to keep them out of administration. Absolutely.
Now, what it is, I'll run through Newcastle United and do that lot. Newcastle, simply, very quickly, the most important signing we can have this year is Rafa Benitez.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. We need Rafa Benitez. If we don't have Rafa Benitez, we're screwed.
If you had an idea into who you might get to replace him, or you're not even thinking of that, that's a nightmare scenario.
It's a nightmare scenario, but the gentleman that I could see us going for, because he would be he'd be available and he would be gettable. There would be two.
Alan Pardew.
There's two of them.
He's definitely available.
Yeah, he's definitely available. He wouldn't pick up the phone. There are two of them that would be available and would be able to sign pretty quickly, and there wouldn't be any problems, and maybe some fans might like him. One of them would be Claude Puel. And the other one would be Jankovic from Fulham.
Definitely. I don't know. I don't know out of those two I'd go for. I'd go for.
One of them's
proven in the Premier League.
Yeah.
One of them
plays more exciting football.
Yeah. It's what you want.
But wants to have control over transfers. So, this is your thing. It depends. I would be okay with both of them, because they would both be able to probably cement the fact that we would not get relegated. Okay. Or hope that we wouldn't get relegated. But if Mike Ashley pulls his fingers out of his backside and we are able to keep Rafa Benitez, that's the goal. That's the game. So if we do get Rafa Benitez back, we're still going to play the three at the back system with a big man up top and two fast-paced wingers, and then ball-playing midfielders in the centre. Okay, yeah. That's the way that we play at the moment. That's the way that we're going to have to do it. So if we need that, we need a left back that can actually play at the three at the back system instead of Matt Ritchie.
Yeah,
Matt Ritchie is not a left back. He's a right midfielder. Let him play right midfield and let someone play left back, please.
But he can make pretty good goal line clearances, though.
Yeah, he can. That goal line clearance on Monday night was mental. The gentleman that I've scouted out, have this if you want, is Plattenhardt from Hertha Berlin. who plays left back. He has been their starting left back this season. He's worth around about £10 million, but because he's got 2 years left on his deal, that would bump it up to £15 million with all the add-ons and agent fees and all that lot. So I think that's possible to do, but it might be a little bit out of our price range. This is, as you did with Vale, this is optimistic because Mike Ashley suddenly realises that we need to put our finger out of our backside and spend money. Otherwise, you're not going to get Rafa Benitez ever again. For the ball-playing midfielder, we definitely need somebody. I have suggested that we either re-sign Hassan Ben Arfa or we try and go after a player of calibre of Tom Davies from Everton.
Yeah.
Or James Ward-Prowse.
I'd rather have Prowse.
I would as well. I quite like Tom Davies though, but I'd rather have James Ward-Prowse. But I don't know how much he'd be available for Southampton. I don't know if he's plans of Hassan Huttel or what, and I don't know if he'd want to move to Newcastle from Southampton because we've got a little bit of a rivalry with Southampton in terms of just playing with them and doing this, that and the other. So there's that. We definitely need a striker, 100%. Rondon is the option, and I'd like to get Rondon, but I'd also like to get a bigger striker as well. So with Rondon there, we have £16.5 million offer for Rondon if West Brom don't get promoted. That goes up to 20 million if they do. They're not going to get promoted. Touch wood. They're not going to get promoted. 16.5 million for Rondon, bargain. He's been our talisman man. He's not really good. He's good. He's not really good.
He's not will be.
No. And the other one that I've been having a look at, we had a look at before pods of Newcastle United strikers that we could possibly buy for like 20 million. There's Alexander Plee from Nice, good player. Dolberg from the Dutch League, good player.
Yeah, I like him.
Expensive, but good. There's Jovic from the Bundesliga, that's like 50 million. And then there's Joe Leeton, who we've been linked with, also from Hertha Berlin, and he's been linked with for around about £40 million. But what Rafa said on Monday is if you need to challenge, you need these 40-50 million pound front threes, and we don't have one. We don't at the moment. I would like a right midfielder. I'd also like a right back. The right back would be Quateng from Nice, who is on the end of his contract this season. They might send him to a 1-year extension, but it would be fairly cheap there. And then, as Adam spoiled for you earlier on in the episode, I like Chris Hogan. I think he'd be very good for us. I really do. I want him, and the reason why I want him is because of the outs that we have. I'll start with that position. I want to get rid of Christian Atsu. I really do. I don't like him. I don't like him at all. I think he's very, very selfish and unplayable and blah, all this and the other. Then we have Isaac Hayden. There, he's been wanting to go all season. Let him leave. It's mainly because his kid's down south. So he has to go with his kid. Chevalier Manquillo, go get out of our club. You're terrible. You're pathetic. You're an awful player. Rob Elliott, you've been a good servant, pal, but you're not playing football at the moment. Go away. He could be a signing for Stoke.
Yeah, if Butland goes.
Yeah, could be a good signing for them. Also, Freddie Woodman, you've been a good player as well. You've never played any football for us. You're young, but you're not progressing to your talent anymore. So that would leave us with obviously Dubravka and the other one that we always have that we got from Forest at the same time as Lascelles. Why am I blanking on his name? Never mind, I'm blanking on his name. And then obviously the main man Joslu, he'd also go because I hate him.
Yeah, and then that'll leave the space up for Scott Hogan, won't it?
Yeah. It'd either leave the space for Atsu's space would be Scott Hogan's, and then when we sell Joslu, Muto might get games. Rondon will probably start, and then obviously we need a third striker, which would be this big one there. If we wanted to, and he'd be really young, so they'd have to learn the system under Rafa first, and then they can start pushing on and playing and doing that striking position there, because that's the way it has to work. And unfortunately, because of the way that the transfer market is at the moment, we have to start spending money, and it's Newcastle United. We're not a mid-table boring club. We should be a top 7 club. I'm not saying we are, but we should. We should be where Everton are. We should be that calibre of club, but we're not. So yeah, sorry that this pod's been a little bit weirder. It's been a little bit wild and windy and everything like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to play us out. If I grab the right mouse, I might be able to play us out with some pop-tastic music and do that lot. There is another pod on Tuesday. It's going to be me. Tom Rogers is going to be back. We're going to have another Tom, Mr. Tom Scott, and we're going to have the special guest, Mr. Jamie Fry. But for the year, what we're going to do is we're going to fit out this pop-tastic music because I need to say goodbye for the year. And this goodbye is to Mr. Adam Swindles. There's a ding, ding, ding for you. You get a ding, ding, ding.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Problem. You've been an absolute servant for the podcast. You've been here every single time that we need you. You've never missed a pod. So yeah, we will see you next season. We are going to probably do an end of season recap as well, but because we're all students, we're leaving in the Easter because we are lazy students and can't be bothered to come back for a week and then go home.
It's pretty
again.
Stupid though. One week.
It's absolutely
1 week
dumb.
after Easter and then
We'll save that for the student timetable podcast and do that lot. We're not going to discuss that now. But yeah, Tuesday's podcast will be back to normal and up again as per usual. We'll have Tom, who is a non-league reporter, as we said on there, so we'll be able to discuss Leyton Orient, and they're pushing to League 2. And Jamie is a Reading fan, so we'll be able to go over the troubles in Reading. And also, he knows a little bit more about the Premier League than Tom does, because Tom doesn't care about the Premier League. No, never mind. But anyway, that's us two out. So, as per usual, I say goodbye from you, and goodbye, Mr. Adam Swindles.
Goodbye.
Right, we'll see you guys soon. Have a good day. Bye-bye.